Hi all, welcome back. So it is Abhinav Johari. So let's continue with our hybrid framework. See what the driver script will do here on the basis of these test cases and these data from XLS as well as from property files. It will read the data from test cases, XLS. Let me write it out, and this property file. It will read the data from these two three things, and it will go to keyword and do the execution. So now what I do, I create a new class in Suite with the name as login test. See, because we are having test case as login test. Remember, we were doing in our last session. So now this is our test case that have to do login. Okay, so I have implemented at the rate test. Now what I can do, either I can do the reusability of code, okay, or I can just directly read the data from Excel. So what is the correct method? Now say suit A has another class known as test B, okay, and it will have its own function that is public void and test B. Okay, let's write it as. So here in every test class, what we need to do, we need to read data from test Excel file or some property file. So in that case, what I have to do, I have to make sure that our my property file and Excel file object is initialized in the starting only. See, I am already having two source folders. Now what I do, I will create a new source folder, new source folder, okay, and I will make it as src dot test dot resources resources. Fine. I have created one more source folder here, that is resources. So all my resources like property files will come in this folder. See, when we work in company, we have different environments. Like we have a testing environment, we have post production environment, we have SAT environments. Okay, and every environment has its own limitations and settings. Remember, so we have to write the code in such a way that our code should run in all those environments. Okay, so for that, what I do, I will create a property files. I go here, okay, new file, other file, okay. Next, let's name it as environment dot properties. Finish. Fine. Created, and for every environment, I will have a new property file. Example, new other file. Next, production prod dot properties. Finish. Okay. And suppose we have one more environment like new other file. Next, ul dot is properties. Fine, it look fine. We have two environment properties files, production and UAT. So here in environment dot production, okay, I have sorry, environment dot properties, I have defined the environment as production. See, suppose the URL for my production website is https semicolon slash rediff.com. Rediff.com. Let me take this. Okay. And suppose in U8 we can keep it is like URL is equal to uat.reddit.com. Okay, for production we have the properties like admin user is equal to QA guides. Fine. Admin password is equal to XYZ. Okay, these are the properties which we are having for our production file. Okay, getting the things. And these values might change for UAT. Okay, say here if you, and it could be something say UAT user, and it could be XYZ UAT. Okay, it may vary. Okay, it depends from user to environment to environment. See, one more thing, we don't keep these XPaths in our, these IDs, XPath, class path in our Excel file. Okay, okay, these are the objects. We can keep it here, but we won't be reading from here. We will be reading these things from property files also only. Okay, so I have to mention all these things in my property files. So see what I am doing, I am removing all these XPaths from my Excel file. I have moved my username, I have moved my password also, site name, and I have removed it from there. I have to click on a button, so I am moving this also. Click means a click button underscore. So I have moved all my XPaths into my property file. So what is the benefit that if I have to make any changes, any if any XPath changes, anything changes, I have to just go to my property file and do the changes, corresponding changes. So I am deleting from here. Okay, and if you want you can put like keys for them. Click button. Okay, password, username, sign in. You can put the keys here like password, username, site name. Okay, keep it here only. Fine, it's look fine. What I can do, I can put the environment dependencies here. See on production environment, say I am having my suite A here. Okay, it is here. So what I can do, I copy the path. Okay, we need to give double slash. Remember, go here, copy the path. Dot XLSX. I can also give suite B also here. Okay, it is also available there, but we have to work on it. We haven't worked on it, so it is suite A. I will be creating it. I haven't created it. I will create it. Okay, let's save it. So now I have to initialize my environment dot properties, production dot properties, as well as I have to initialize my Excel files also. Okay, let's see how we can do it. And that has to be done for every test case, and it should be done before every test starts. Okay, we have to do it. What I do, I create a before test. Okay, and its name I put it as public void init. Init means initialization. Okay, and test B also will have this before test, which will initialize property file as well as Excel file. Okay, so now look, there is an issue. I have given that we need to have reusability, but it is not existing. Why? Because I am using init function in every of my class. So we need to have the reusability of code. Init function should not be everywhere. So what I will do, I will take the use of inheritance. If you go to my previous modules, you will find what is inheritance. If you want, I can let you know about inheritance. So I am creating a new project. Okay, module. It will be module 33. Okay, and it will be for hybrid inheritance. Oh, where I have written. Let me create a class car, and we have two function, public void start, and we have another class known as public void another function, that is stop. Okay, now suppose I have another class with the name as Toyota class car, Toyata, Toyata underscore car. Okay, it also have the functions like start and stop. So functions are repeated here. Okay, you can see. So what will help here? Inheritance will help here. So what I can do, remove it, extends car. So what it means, this car, this Toyota car is extending the feature of car class. Okay, it inherits all the features from car class. Getting the things? And a part of it, it can also build its own features like public void GPS. Okay, let me create a new class, test underscore car, and what I do, I create a object of Toyota car. So now you can see TC, it can have GPS function. Okay, it can have start function, it can have stop function. Fine, it can extend all the three functions. Fine, but if I go with car, car C is equal to new car. Okay, you will see that it cannot extend GPS. Okay, if I want to extend GPS function, it is not able to extend GPS function. Okay, that you can understand, I have already explained. But Toyota can extend, get use of all the functions, including its as well as of car class. Okay, so got the concept of encapsulation. So let's move ahead. So car was the parent class and Toyota was the child class. Car was the parent and Toyota was the child class. Okay, so let's move ahead with our framework. Fine. See, so in our case also, all the test classes like login test, test B, test C, every test class will extend the single test class and it will be a base test. What it will be? It will be a base test. Okay. So let me create a new package here. New package. Okay. And let me name it as base. So I have created a new package here, that is base. Now I am creating a new class in it. with the name as base test. Fine. Okay, so I finished it. So now what will happen? Our login test will extend. Our login test will extend base test. Why it is showing me this base B capital? What is showing me error? Where I have created this base test? First of all, the things I have made some mistakes here. Hmm. Just a second. These two files were of suit A. Why they came here? Okay. I actually copied it. Just a second. Actually, I gave incorrect name. That why it was showing me error. Okay, I have corrected it. Okay, now the error has gone. And in extend also, what I have to do, I have to extend in test B also. I have to extend base test. Okay, and I don't need now this before test before, because I will be writing everything there only. So I am removing before test from here also. Okay, save it. See now what I have done in base test, I have given before test, and I have created a new function in it, that is login test, running a login test. So what I do, I go in login test and run it as testng.xml. Okay, sorry, run it as testng. See what happened. So our running login test executed first, and after that it went to do login. Okay, getting the things. So let's start with our basic code. So let me do first initialization of property files. Okay, so let's start with it. Property files. Fine. So here I have defined two property variables. The one is public properties. Okay, I have explained you in previous classes. One is environment property and another is prop. So this variable will specify the property environment based properties. Let's me initialize these things. Prop is equal to new properties. Now I have to create the file input stream for it. File input stream fs is equal to file input stream system dot get property get property. Give your current directory user dot dir. Fine, and under it what we have to do, plus define the path. What is the path? uh, we have to take environment dot properties, and where is environment dot properties? It is under our resources. Okay, take its properties. Okay, what I do, I will let me keep a fixed thing. You can take it from dir dot properties. I am keeping it like this. new file stream. Okay, we need to surround it by track edge. Okay, and next what we need to do, go at the end. Okay, go here, press enter, and we need to load it. Prop dot load file stream. Okay, so this file will get loaded now. Fine. So now property file will get initialized and loaded. See, I have already explained in one of my videos and one of the module. It's totally on property file. I think it's module 7. See, we have initialized the environment. Now based on environment we have to specify. Environment could be UAT, environment could be production. Okay. What I do here, just let me so see which environment is it. Property prop dot get property, and let's see the object environment. Okay, I take it env, go here, let me run my login test. I am going to my login test, running, run as test ng. Why it skipped? Why it is showing me error? Null pointer. I think file input stream. This is, I think, error in my file. Just a second. So I ran this program. Now it is working fine. There was some issue. So it is showing me production. Actually, path was the issues. So I take out the path. I will take the path. Let me delete it. Okay. Prop is equal to no, and I have printed the environment variable, and the environment variable which we are having here is prod, prod, production. Fine. Let's go ahead. Now we know that our environment is production, so we have to carry out the things. We have to read the property file of production only. Okay, so what I can do, I can write it out here. String env environment is equal to, I will get the environment here. Okay, that environment can be compared. Fine. And what I can do, I can also initialize my environment file. So here I can initialize it. How can I initialize? Let me delete this. Environment equal to new property. Okay, I have initialized it. Now we need to give the path of this file, environment file. Now we will be using our environment file. So which file I am going to use? Now I am going to use my production dot properties. So I will be giving as input speed is equal to new file input stream. Okay, now I can use this only. File input, and I can get system dot get property. Okay, and I can use key from here. Okay, fine. Now we need to make changes here, because now the environment will depend on this string. Okay, tomorrow say the environment become our UAT environment, so we have to open UAT file. So now I have to make the changes. So what I can do here, I can substitute the name here. So I will put it double quotes, okay, plus plus, and it will be env. Fine, get the things. So now it's the production. Our environment is prod. The value will be prod, and it will open prod file. If you want to see whether it is working fine or not, okay, we can load the value and you can print the environment. Okay, in that same way. So we can write the environment properties dot load, okay, in fine, input stream fine. I have loaded it. Now if you want to check, okay, you won't have confidence, system.out.println whether it is reading value from production or not. So what I do, I take the URL. Let's print out the URL. Okay, so env prod dot get property of environment. Let's check it out. It's for my confidence also and your confidence also. Let me run it. It run, and you can see it is rediff.com, and rediff.com is coming from production only. Fine, both of our files are initialized. Now removing this line. Hope you got this line. After property file initialization is done, okay, what we need to do, we need to initialize excel file. Okay, let's work on initialization of excel file. See, part to the file is already available in our production settings. If I go to my environment, where it is production properties, and we are already having path available here. Okay, see, if you remember, I have already taught you about excel files. Okay, so I told you about in reading data. Fine, so here if you see, I am having work xls. There is a separate class file which is used in reading and writing. I have created that. I am copying this work xls, and what I am doing, under our reference libraries, sorry, where is my module, here is my module 32. Okay, under my resources I am putting it. Fine, see, remember, what it is doing, just a second, just a second, reading data, it is the file, copy it, control C, and let's paste it here. Okay, I have to save this. Okay, no, okay, I got it here. And what is the default package, let it be, and let me, and okay, I have to get this POI API also. Okay, for this POI API, these are the POI APIs. Okay, I have copied it, control C, and either you should, best practices, specify these POI APIs in your pom.xml. Okay, I am putting it directly. Just a second, just be with me. Okay, I have copied that file. Now I need to add POI Excel properties. You have to get it from pom.xml. Just I have to teach you out. That's why I'm using from POI. I am putting these POI APIs. Okay, in Selenium you can see POI is there. I am using this POI. Okay, control A, open, apply and close. Okay, okay, see, now the error has gone. All the errors has gone from, and we have this work.xls available. Let it be here. What's the issue? Nothing this. Okay, so this work.xml, what it do actually, it has all the function to read from any file, write from any file. I would suggest just go to my this reading data. You will understand how to read data from Excel file. Okay, it will be better for you. Thanks. Let's continue. But what I suggest you, keep this work.xls into your util project. Okay, this is the best practice. I'm keeping it here. Okay, delete it from here. Okay, delete this default project. Keep it here. It is the best practice. Okay, that util should have these xls files. See, I am building this framework in front of you. There are something I have to get from somewhere else, anywhere else. Okay, and in every company things are different. I am letting you know how the basic framework is like, but you will not find in the same way in the company you will join. Now do go to your base class and initialize xls object public public what underscore xls. Okay, fine, I have initialized the object. So now question arises here, to which test suite A or test suite B it should go and point to. Okay, this is the question. So I will initialize my test suite XLS file. I am currently taking as A. I will let you know other things in another sessions. Work XLS, and I will be giving the path as environment. We are having that path get why it is showing me it's environment prop. Sorry, you need to give like this dot get property, and what is its name, environment property. Mm, what I have defined, and we need to define it under environment properties. Just a second. Okay. Our environment is, what is our environment currently? It's production only. Okay, so I have to take it from here. Our environment is production. I got confused. Sorry, I should not get confused here. Okay, so I am taking this property. Put it here. Fine. So we have initialized it. Now see, we have initialized property file and Excel file. Fine. Now let's go to our login test. Now we need to read the data. For data reading, I have already told you, we need to use data provider. Okay. We will be using data provider. Fine. Hopefully you remember data provider in test engine. So we'll get the data from Excel file. It will help us. See, data provider take always get data in form of objects. Okay, we'll add it. Now we need to return an object array. See, I am creating a framework. Okay, I am creating a frame. After that, after creation of this frame, we can put anything in it. Fine. So for now, what I do, I put the data like this. Okay, and let me hard code the data. I will use the Excel. Wait for it. Okay, data. And I will return their data. And what I do here, I write down here, just a second, it will be object. this, and data is equal to new data. Why it is showing error? And doing like this, data is equal to new data. Just a second. What is showing me error? Let's see why it is showing me error. Before that, I have to mention here also data provider is equal to get data. Which will be, oh, okay. We need to provide the name of data provider also. See, confusion is going on. We need to provide here. Fine. I have provided it here. Why is showing me error? Okay, it will be small. Data provider. Fine. And we are returning the data. Let's see, silly mistake I am doing. Bracket is not being closed. Okay. And before it, what I do? SYSO inside data provider. Okay, let's save it. Fine. Let me run this test case. Sorry, it got failed because I have to provide here the value of A also. Remember the data provider. We need to have the number of columns here same. So we have one column. So one value has been retrieved here. Now let me run. So see, it runs perfectly and it was done, everything was done, and our login test case also get passed. Now we need to use our Excel file objects in our data provider. Okay, see, control will go to before test first. Okay, it will go here, it will initialize the object here. Fine. Now we want that our data provider should read data from our Excel point file. Okay, so this is our next requirement. See, now we need to read data from our this data sheet. Okay, getting the things. So now see, in keyword we need data. When we open the browser, then data is where it is under browser column. So provide the data as browser here. Okay, for the username it need to be come from sheet username username. Wait, for password it should come from password. Fine. Now see what happened. Data provider here will take columns as 3 because we have 3 columns available here. Now important question come, how should I read the data and put that data in my data provider? Okay, see, for login test what are all the columns? We have run mode, browser, username, password, and expected result. So here we are having 3 rows and 5 columns. So in our this we have to put data now here. So it will be 3 and 5. If you remember everything, I am doing the same way. Okay, we need to put it 3 and 5. 3 rows and 5 columns. Now what you have to do, you have to put, see, we should have the same input parameter as number of columns. Now you have to put all the column names like string run mode, comma, string username, comma, string password, comma. So don't you think it will create a problem? Now see, I have added all these things, but tomorrow what happens? One more column increases, one column get decreases. Do have to make changes every time. Okay, so we will going to solve this problem with the help of hash table. In next session, I will let you know how we can solve this problem. Thank you. If you have any inquiries, join us. QA Guides.